next story, we'll hand you over to Shakira, and it's still about the cancel culture and what we put out on YouTube. Thank you, Shakira.
Yeah, today, like this third segment is about an English teacher who works at Eton College who decided to upload a 30-minute video entitled The Patriarchy Paradox, where he says that the patriarchy is a result of biological differences between men and women and is not a social construct. And he says that it benefits women, actually. Throughout the video, according to some articles, he makes claims that he doesn't back up. And even though he's had multiple complaints and requests to take this video down, he's refused to do so, which has led to the headmaster of Eton College letting him go, firing him. This has led to some ethical debates in the media saying if it's ethical or not for him to be fired for making this video. And that is the question that we're going to ask the panel today. In your own opinion, if it is ethical to fire a teacher for a video that he made on his own YouTube about his opinion on patriarchy. Antonella?
I think that Ciiku was the first raising her hand.
You can go first, Antonella.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the first thing when you were speaking and he said and you were telling the story and you said that he said the word patriarchy is not a social concept. I felt a weapon in my heart. So first thing, it's very sad. It's so sad. So in a nutshell, I will say that it's even worse, the fact that this person is a teacher and has to deal with students, young people that are still possible to be, we are young people, so we change our minds very quickly in a positive sense or negative sense. And so it's important in this in this range of age to have good examples. So this teacher, first of all, is not a good teacher. And this is the proof that you can study and have 15 bachelor degrees MA, but when you are not providing your students and your audience proper instruments, proper tools of learning, of course, it's a lie. It's not, and it's proven and it's recognized the fact that men and women, that there is gender balance. So even if our society still has not reached this final goal, but it is commonly and objectively diffused, this idea that we have to fight gender balance. And so this teacher, how can he say this? And unfortunately, something similar has happened in my university. A teacher also said, no, women should not be teachers, should be not professors in the university. What has happened is that the head of the university has himself asked sorry to all the students. We received an email in which he asked sorry, and this person has not been fired, but has been fined a lot. So at least this person should be fined, but at least 2,000 euro, in my opinion, at least. Or a similar punishment, I don't know. Thank
you. Thanks, Antonella. For me, unfortunately, I didn't have time to actually see his lecture to know all the things he was saying. But we did want to discuss about the cancel culture, that when people give contrary views, we immediately cancel them and call them to be fired and blah, blah, blah. So that's just what I wanted to talk about. The guy posted this link on a YouTube channel. So people are saying freedom of expression. He wasn't doing a lecture in the university. He was just expressing his views on a platform that wasn't his employer's platform. So the university was being asked, where do you stand in terms of freedom of expression? And apparently they said they didn't fire him for freedom of expression. They fired him as an internal issue for him whatever, being refusing to follow their own internal procedures. That's my one point. My second point, quickly, because I know everyone needs to have a go, is I don't know. I found this so conflicting for me because on one hand, for example, and this is just one situation, and please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just speaking as a woman. I've seen these WWF fights where women that are trans women engage in them, and they fight against I don't know how to put it, trans women and well women that were born women. I don't know what it, I don't want to be politically incorrect, and they have
Cis.
okay, cisgendered women. So they obviously have still more physical strength than these women. And one of the women involved in these fights, cis women involved in these fights, and she's never been knocked out like with that amount of physical strength before. So it's just something to think about. And I know there's a lot of people who are LGBTQ plus. So new educators, do you think there should be a third criteria for trans people or what? Because there are women who are saying that there's definitely a physical strength, difference in physical strength in things like sports. Maybe that's a topic for another day. I just wanted to put that there. It's Shakira, you're in charge.
Yeah, Keshi, sorry, my mic was muted.
Yeah, I wanted to say that Chico mentioned that example because that's what one of the examples the man gave about aggression and toxic masculinity, saying that these are a biological reality. So he included the trans people. And this is also one of the reasons why there was a lot of backlash against him, because he was seen as misogynist as well as anti-trans people. But what I wanted to say is that what he posted, I actually watched the whole video. He said a lot of right things, but at the same time, he made broad statements that were supported by very shady evidence that can be debated. And at the end of that video, he did bring in, talk about feminists, criticizing feminists, and then brought in a feminist woman, a feminist who supports incest, and then trying to say, is this the kind of feminism you want? And this actually made me wonder, this guy is just bringing anything that is controversial to bring in such a video with no, who says that when we are supporting feminism, we want to support incest? That was actually the essence of what he was saying. So a lot of the things he said could be debated, but because he put them on YouTube, how do you debate with him? So he's bringing his school to disrepute because people look at that and think, is that what they are teaching at Eton? Therefore, he has to be fired. So there is that responsibility you have as an educator. What you put out there, you are representing your school. He didn't do it as a private individual. Everybody knows him as a teacher at Eton. So for me, I think it was okay, he was fired. Next time he'll think when he goes on YouTube to say things without evidence and broad statements without really giving good evidence that you can debate about. Thank you.
Yes, it's definitely true what you're saying, in the fact that he does, no matter how he puts it out there, his name is still on the YouTube channel. People still see him and they think this is a professor. He must know what he's talking about. So a lot of people will take this as fact, which is just obviously not good. Mil?
Yeah, so the thing with this whole cancel culture, I think that it's good sometimes, but sometimes people will go overboard, obviously. But I don't think so in this case. I do think that he should have been fired because he's contributing to violence and sexism and all this stuff. Whereas if he wants to talk about all these facts about how men are stronger or whatever it is, then he should know that the ones who will be being violent towards women, and then they hear what he's saying, they think, yeah, feminism is just rubbish, blah blah blah. It doesn't, blah blah. He was basically contributing to just misogynistic behavior, basically. And but if it was the other way around, you're not going to see women going around beating up men because they heard a woman say that women are a, I don't know what, because we don't have that strength. And I just think that when he's saying this, he's just adding to more issues instead of just saying it in small discussions. He puts it on YouTube, which makes all these people, which is the majority, the power to go around treating women like crap.
Mhm.
And also, like what Tadakeshi said, when he starts saying weird controversial stuff, like not just saying that he doesn't believe in this whole like feminism movement, he's saying stuff like, oh well, we are better, we are stronger, or whatever. I don't think that's trying to change people's minds. I think that's just trying to say that you don't like women, to be honest, and you think that they're less than you.
Yeah, I gotta agree. He's definitely using his platform to not even like do the opposite of condemning violence toward women, because he's saying that it's just biological that men are aggressive in this way. Karine?
Thank you. This is really interesting. So as you guys are talking, as you ladies, sorry, as you ladies are talking, I was just thinking, so I think the first and main thing is that people need to be held accountable for the things they do or for the actions they undertake. And I think that's something that I know I came a bit late to the discussion, but throughout the other points as well and the other stories as well, I think that's a really big thing throughout, that people just need to be held accountable for the actions that they take and the things that they say. And I think in this particular example, I mean, this video is on YouTube, right? So surely if he's putting his views out on YouTube, he is looking for some form of reaction from whoever that is. He's looking for a reaction, because otherwise you wouldn't publicly put it on YouTube. And so obviously by doing that, by making it public and widely available, again, you need to be, as a person, you also need to be aware of the consequences that that might bring. And I think in terms of the school, it makes a lot of sense, because I think if I was a parent and I had my children in that school, I would think, you might be able to think, okay, this person did this in their free time, but these are the ideas that they stand behind. So even if that person manages to be completely objective in the classroom, well, as I say that, I'm thinking that would also be impossible. So you might be able to teach things in sort of an objective way, but those ideas would somehow still transfer in certain ways, as implicitly or subconsciously as that might be, into the classroom. And as a parent, I would think, well, I don't want my child to be taught those kind of ideas. So as from the school's point of view, I completely understand it, because you would think, well, we don't want parents to think that we stand behind these ideas, and we don't want parents to think that those are the ideas that are being taught in the classroom. So I think, those consequences are completely justified by the actions of this person, and this person could have very well thought that those consequences might occur because he put it on YouTube. So he made it publicly available, and obviously consequences are going to happen because of that.
That's true, definitely. People can say freedom of speech as much as they want, but freedom of speech does not save you from any consequences that you could face.
Accountability. So
Yeah.
freedom of speech also means you have to be, accountable for what you have to be able to be held accountable for what you're saying.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yasina?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for this wonderful topic. According to me, I think that being a professor, he shouldn't be talking such kind of things on YouTube, because YouTube is a platform where everyone follows. It's not few people, many world. It's going throughout the world. So some youngsters' minds are very like fluctuating. They will change their thoughts minute to minute. By seeing that, youngsters will also get points like, okay, he's talking like that, it may be correct or wrong. So I think that making that kind of bold statement on platform like YouTube is not good. Like if we have any issues or anything, he should have sort out with the organization or anything like that. I feel like that, because the area where I come from, we teach, like we give very good place for professor and teachers, like we treat them after God. So being a professor, he has to not do like that, I think so.
Definitely. I feel like he should have brought this up with a debate team instead of putting it out as if it's very like on point information. Imani?
So I just wanted to say I agree with what Mills said about we should be careful about who not canceling someone easily. But I do agree that this guy, what he did was is okay to have opinion, though obviously these are very controversial and will people will be watching that on YouTube and be like, I agree with him. And then it can furthermore start a cycle of all kinds of things. But the fact that he was a professor made the whole thing, worse because he is representing a university. That says a lot. Also, I don't like the claims that he made about the feminism because there's already a lot of things. I know that obviously there are both good women who are feminists and there are bad women. I just don't like they only like to talk about the bad ones because a lot of men these days hate feminism, like a lot that I talk to. But that's another day for debate.
Yes. Thank you, Imani. McKenna?
I agree with him being, I don't agree with him. I agree with him being cancelled because if he put it out there, like on YouTube, it's like the same thing. Whereas, like, if you're in a job and you have something on Facebook that might be controversial or just like you're swearing or something like that, like, and you got a public account, what do you think's gonna happen? Like, it's gonna come back to you. Like, you put it out there. So like Karine said, like he obviously wanted a reaction by putting it on YouTube on a public platform, not just on a debate group chat or like a private account or something like that. That's all. But yeah.
Definitely. We're gonna have to wrap up this topic and then move on quickly to the new COVID vaccine.
Yeah, just a quick point about the previous topic to say that this video on YouTube has had more than 140,000 views on YouTube, and me being one of the ones contributed to those views. So the question is, should they have handled this in another way? Because now more people have given this guy a platform than he could have had if it had been handled privately. Anyway, the next subject is about the COVID vaccine. There's been a lot of talk about, before it was rolled out in different countries, about who should take the vaccine. There were debates, is it elderly versus essential workers and healthcare workers? And then when it was rolled out, many countries have decided to give it to the elderly and to healthcare workers who take care of them. So the question is, should we be focusing on preventing deaths by vaccinating the elderly to those countries which have not yet started vaccination? I know in England you've started. Here in Denmark, it's going to be around Christmas time, and other countries, I don't know, you can tell us. So we'd like you to tell us who has been given priority and what do you feel, or who do you feel should be given priority? The floor is yours. Karine?
I have a very strong opinion about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I very strongly feel that definitely healthcare workers should be the first to get vaccinated, simply because they have been working nonstop for months now. Everyone I know that in my circles that, of our healthcare workers, they haven't had any leave this year. They've all been working overtime, not getting paid often for the overtime, just completely on the front line. And I think definitely they should get first priority. And also people just in services where they are frontline workers. So also supermarket workers, taxi drivers, people that are in contact with a lot of people. In terms of the elderly, I suppose my opinion is a bit less strong, but I do feel like it's always important to protect the vulnerable people in society. And I think at the end of the day, that's what makes us human in a way, to basically care for others and to make sure that the vulnerable people are supported. So yeah, I think that's my opinion.
Thank you, Karine. How about you, Imani? What do you say?
You're
Sorry,
mute.
guys. Shamsa wanted to say
Hamza.
something.
Okay,
Yeah.
Shamsa, I can't see, sorry.
It's all right. So definitely, the elderly people they should get and they should, get vaccination first, and then NHS. It's very important. They should, frontline the workers. They should get vaccinated first because they are serving, and they are, the main factor in all this scenario. But the most important thing for me, the so far now the adults they are primary driver to transmit. So if transmission stops, this virus can be stopped. So government should focus on the adults as well, so they can't transfer it to the older people. So this is my point of view.
Thank you, Shamsa. And as we continue, I would ask you to reflect on this. How about the people who are hardest hit? For example, doctors in Norway have been asking that they prioritize immigrant populations because they've been the hardest hit in their country. But a doctor who is in charge of the Department of Alcohol, Tobacco and Drugs in Norway said that he understands the concern, but he does not want to prioritize foreign-born for now because age overshadows other factors. So they will start with the oldest and work their way down. What do you think about this, Chico?
First of all, Shamsa, that's a good point you said. And the government, like I'm showing you here, decided that they want to do direct protection, which is age and the most vulnerable, rather than the risk of transmission. So that's what the UK government decided. And they go by age, all the residents in care home, and then health and social care workers. And on the contrary, in America, which a lot of us in the UK have been asking, I found this very interesting because a lot of us are suspicious. Well, I know some people are suspicious about the vaccine. In America, they've decided they'll go with the senior government officials first, which is bizarre, and then the healthcare workers, nursing home staff and residents, and then essential workers. So different countries are deciding on different things. I personally think the people on the front lines should get the vaccine first because they're the ones who are putting themselves at risk, and they're the ones who will take care of anyone who actually gets the disease. So if they're not there, then what's going to happen? So we need to look after them first. And then for me, I think the age should be next. And it would be nice to hear from the people in Kenya and other places where people are saying they're going to be last in this hierarchy of who's getting the vaccine. So I hope we can hear from people far away as well.
Thank you. Imani, what do you say from Denmark?
So I agree with what Tadashiku said, that people who are on the front lines should get it first, mostly because of they've been working hard and that the most risk of getting it and spreading it. Then I also think elderly getting it after, obviously, because young people most can overcome it while elderly might not, most of them. Though about the vaccine itself, I like that here in Denmark you can choose, because I have my own opinions regarding that vaccine. I don't trust it completely. I know it's a bit controversial, but I think it's because many vaccines that we've had that for a long time, but this one is fairly new, and I keep hearing stuff, and I know that there could be reactions, for example, people with allergies or something. And knowing that I am not in a risk group, I personally wish or want to wait a bit till I know more. I know this is going to sound controversial, but that's just my opinion about it.
Can I just say that at the end of this session, we'll do like we did the last one, like a survey, yes or no to the vaccine. No judgment, please, no judging people. Just yes or no, will you have the vaccine at the moment, currently, not in 1 year, whatever. We'll do that survey at the end. Okay.
Thank you. Imani, I'd just like to point out that here in Denmark, we are prioritizing elderly and healthcare workers. So you're long down the line. So you have a lot of time to decide if you want vaccine or not. And another thing I wanted to point out what Chico said, that they are giving politicians. I think for me, it's a good move because there's so much vaccine skepticism. People are having all sorts of conspiracy theories. So if your politicians are being vaccinated, this will motivate people to think, okay, it's not just to kill us off or to give us all sorts of side effects. So I'm okay with the vaccine. So I'm right okay with them vaccinating political leaders and possibly even our royal families. Who is the next one? Shiro?
In Kenya, I'm just reading what it says here, that they will give priority to the health workers, police officers, the elderly and teachers, and then also people who come in contact with crowds and those with 2 or more medical conditions. And then after that, people over 50. Personally, I feel the health workers should get the vaccine first, especially in Kenya, because right now the health workers are on strike because the government is not giving them quality PPEs to protect themselves. So quite a few of them have been infected and some have even died, which is extremely unfortunate because they have money for other things to pay their own salaries, the politicians, but not to protect the health workers. So personally, I feel the health workers should be given preference even over the elderly because they're the ones in the front line. An elderly person can stay at home and avoid people and crowds, but a health worker has absolutely no choice.
Thank you, Shiro. Was it Yasina? Yeah.
So, according to me, I think that the first vaccine should be given to frontline workers like policemen, health workers, and all. Because I am from police background. Like my sister is a cop, and being sixth month of pregnant, she worked for COVID. Being in the line, she has been carrying the baby with the huge tummy. She worked there in our country. So in spite of their situations and all, they are working for our country. So I think they should get the first priority, health
Thank
workers
you.
and all frontline
Thank you,
workers.
Yasina. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else who wants to give a comment? So if no one wants to say something, I'll just put this out there.
Jamila.
I read an article in LA Times, on LA Times, thank you, that the COVID vaccine is here and so are the wealthy people who want it fast. They are offering tens of thousands of dollars in cash, making their personal assistants pester doctors every day and asking whether a 5-figure donation to a hospital would help them jump the line.
Wow.
So yeah, everyone wants this vaccine, even though there are many people who are vaccine skeptic. But do you think it's ethical that people pay thousands of dollars so that they can jump the queue? Yes, Karine?
Absolutely unethical on every level.
Mm.
I'm absolutely shocked. I think I was reading as well that the vans that transport the vaccine are guarded with military, and they are transported like, you know, when they transport big amounts of money. So it's really, I mean, I think it's ridiculous. I think if you go down that line where you're allowing people to pay for a vaccine, it creates such a high level of discrimination and basically just social injustice. So I definitely think it's completely unethical to allow, and I sincerely hope it's not working anywhere.
Thank you, Karine. Jamila and then Shakira.
Yeah, I think no matter what, when it comes to people's lives, I don't think that you should have like the audacity to even say that you want to go first when you can actually pay to not have to leave the house. They have the money to sit at home and not do anything, but you want the vaccine first when you're not going outside working with people. You're not even just frontline workers, just people who have to still go to their jobs. If it's in a restaurant, the cinema, they're going outside to get their money. You can just sit at home and get people assistance and stuff like that to go bring you food from outside. So they don't need the vaccine first. Why do they don't need it at all? So that's what I don't understand. The only people who I think who have money are the politicians, because they're the ones trying to tell us to take this vaccine that we don't know anything about. So yeah.
Thank you, Jamila. Shakira?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Also, the whole thing, like, it's low-income neighborhoods that are like very affected by this, because you have to go out and like to get money to work to even survive, and then also you maybe live in a small house where everybody's in very close quarters. It's also the thing with celebrities that Jamila was just saying, that they have money to like enough money to not have to leave the house. I've seen so many like celebrity like singers and famous people who have posted videos of them crying, being like, I'm so depressed in my $1 million mansion. Like, that people who live in like a tiny little room sharing with like 3 people and they are surviving. But then these people who live in huge apartments or like mansions, they're complaining, guys, we can do this. We're all in this together. Like, no, we're not. We're not even at the same level at all.
Thank you, Shakira. Okay, I think we can wrap up. So unless somebody has something to say, we are going to take a poll starting from Imani.
Yes or no, and no judgment. And we're talking about right now, not in 1 month or in 2 months. If you were offered the vaccine right now, would you take it? Yes or no?
So Imani? No.
No.
Thank you. Yasina?
Yes.
Shakira?
No.
Shiro?
Yes.
Kenna?
No.
Maggie?
Yes.
Karine?
Yeah.
Jamila?
If Boris does it, I'll do it.
Shiko?
Same as Jamila. If the queen does it.
Shamsa?
Yeah, same with Ciiku. If Queen does it, I will do it.
Thank you, everyone. I'd like to mention that as a healthcare worker here in Denmark, we've been offered the vaccine. I had a lot of contemplation to do before saying yes or no to the vaccine, and doubts. And I went up online and read about the vaccine. And I also thought, if this vaccine is being offered to healthcare workers who are actually in the front line fighting this sickness, why would they do that? Because if healthcare workers succumb to something in the vaccine, then there's nobody to hold the front lines.
Yeah.
So I just say I said yes to the vaccine, and for that reason, to protect myself and my clients, patients. Yes. Karine?
I would also just like to say, if anyone has any concerns, just please feel free to reach out to me. I've done a lot of reading about this, and so I think all vaccines that have ever existed have potential side effects, and all medication that we ever take has potential side effects. So I just wanted to put that out there, and I respect all your opinions, but all medication that's ever produced and that we take has potential side effects.
Exactly.
Yeah,
thank you, Karine. And also remember that, of course, there are a lot of theories about this and conspiracy theories. So do your research go to medical websites. I have even downloaded documents, research on those drugs to see when it was in trial period, what were the side effects, and so on. So please do your research. Don't rely on conspiracy theories or what you hear. Do your research and make an informed decision. Thank you so much for participating. This was our last session of Sunday Sentiments for this year. And
Keshi, Jamila has something to say.
Jamila has something to say.
Sorry, I just wanted to say, when you told us, Keshi, that if they're offering it to the frontline workers, that makes sense. But it was when they tried to say that Black people and people like minority would have it first, that's when it sounds a bit suspicious. Even though we're affected more, I didn't understand that. But when you say it like that, it makes sense. But it's just the countries that are saying, oh yeah, Black people and minorities, they really need it, we need to give it to them, or we need to help Africa and stuff. You're just like, why do you care so much now? You didn't care before when we had other things happening to us.
Ebola and all those things.
Exactly.
Guys, can we also everyone give a little message for New Year or whatever if you want, because this is the last time we're seeing each other. First, I'll let Keshi wrap up her session, and then we can all give a little message to everyone if you like.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you everyone for participating. It was a dynamic session, different topics, a diverse panel, interesting information, interesting perspectives. Thank you as always, and thank you for supporting Four Wings.
Yes, thank you. So, okay, we'll go with a little toast. I finished my drink, but we can give a little toast. Everyone can. So,
Water.
Okay, I'll start and then I'll go by my screen. I want to thank you all for supporting this channel. I know it's been a difficult year, so we really hope you have a good break. I hope everyone is getting a little break from their everyday life for the next couple of weeks. And I really hope you have a much, much better year in 2021. So cheers to that, guys.
Yeah, cheers.
And then we have Imani.
What?
Okay, Keshi.
Yeah, I just want to say, keep safe, wear your masks, vaccination or not. Happy holidays and see you next year.
Cheers. Yasina?
I just want to wish a happy health for everyone and happy holidays, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. May you all have love, peace, and happiness for the next year. Thank you.
Shakira?
I don't really have a lot more to say, just that don't be stupid, wear a mask, don't die. That's it. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. Shiro?
I'd like to wish everyone happy holidays, a happy new year. And also, this year has taught us to appreciate life, to appreciate our families, and we should continue doing so.
Thank you. That's great. Imani, have you thought of something?
Just be hopeful for 2021. 2021. Happy New Year. Be careful out there and everything.
Thank you, Imani. Karine.
Well, I would like to say thank you for letting me be part of this community in 2020 and for getting to know you all. I'm very grateful. I know I haven't always been present, but when I have been, it's been really great and I've learned a lot. So I'm hoping 2021 will bring more of that, more learning and more community, and just wishing everyone a peaceful end of the year, peaceful holidays in whichever way you can. I hope it brings you peace and hopefully health and happiness. And I really genuinely hope lots of good food.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Karine. Maggie.
Yes, today I had chosen just to stay calm and listen to what was going on. I didn't want to talk much, but thank you so much for the 4 weeks. It was a tough year for all of us, but for the connection, actually, I appreciate it. And I wish you all the best for the rest of the days of the year. And 2021, hopefully we'll see each other smiling again.
Thank you, Maggie. You too, from all of us. Kenna.
I hope everyone has a nice holiday regardless of the restrictions, and like that we all get to see our family if we can. But yeah, thank you for having me during these sessions.
Thank you for supporting, Kenna, and we wish the best for you. Shamsa?
I would like to say, although it's very difficult time for everyone, but stay connected with your loved ones and stay in touch with them. And happy holidays, happy new year to everyone. And we will see everyone in new year, inshallah. Stay blessed, stay strong, be positive.
Thank you, Shamsa. Nice message. And how about Jamila?
Yeah, hi everyone. So basically, thank you for existing and coming to this channel. It has really been a wonderful, I think, leg, I guess, and everyone has contributed so much, and your opinions have added to ones that I've had and also contributed to everyone else. So thank you, and have a great year next year, because this year clearly wasn't great. Yeah.
Thank you, Jamila.
Thank
Nice
you.
message. And finally, Keshi, please. Or did Keshi give her message? Okay, guys, thank you so much. We know we've taken a lot of your time on a Sunday. We really do appreciate it. We know you're busy now, so we just want to wish you all the best, and hopefully we can come back next year and meet again. Please stay safe and see you next year. Take care.
See you next
Bye.
Bye. Bye.